So they'll flip it. But then the core part of business allows you to always improve your staff. It's for your own good, because businesses are dynamic. It changes with trends.
Yes.
So you cannot, for instance, those who used to sell compact disc maybe 10 years ago, they're out of business. Imagine if you had a factory that produces all that stuff. What do you do with the stuff these days? So you need to always find a way to upgrade your staff. And that's standard, regardless of the sentiments that comes around it. So my take is always, I would say, start from the owner of the business. Upgrade yourself, yeah? Then you can also go to the staff. Why I'm saying this is that there's nothing I do not know how to do in any of my businesses. There's nothing. I drive the truck, I go to... So there's nothing new you can tell me as a staff that I cannot do. However, it allows me to be able to sit where you sit. So whenever you have a challenge, I can understand. I can relate. But when you are doing the boss and CEO and you're just waiting for the income to come and you collect and go on holiday, you know, that's the way. But then it's very important to be able to develop your staff and also upscale. Now, good advice. People are always in a hurry to employ more people. Now, what that is more weight on your business, right?
Absolutely.
You have to pay more salaries. You have to, if you have to standardize your business, in other words, you have to get HMO plans, you have to get pension, you have to get all that stuff. That's more overheads on your business. As much as you can, if you try to reduce your overhead, give your workforce more things to do. I know young people don't really like any little thing is mental health. Mental health.
If you pay them, if there's money there, why not?
You know, it's my mental health. Yeah, okay. But
no commenting.
You know, however, I think you should increase the capacity, motivation any staff will get. There are no two ways to this. Yeah. So if there are no incentives, whether cash or kind, then no staff will be motivated. Now, what I've introduced, I've introduced one thing I call emotional incentive as well. I try to appeal sometimes
to the Gen Z.
I mean, it's important. We say we have to be dynamic, so there's a need to have that in your business because the Gen Zs. Typically, you have to appeal to that aspect of them, not just the money. But then, to answer your question, yes, the dynamic part of business is that every business is expected to grow, right? I could call you in to come into a business to do A and B. But for some reason, because you are there with me every day, I can trust you with C and D.
True.
Not because that is what you're employed to do.
Sure.
And I expect that you step up to the role with our regular meetings and engagements. You're doing that because you're seeing the bigger picture. The business is going to grow, and somebody else will take up this role eventually, right? But I know some bad bosses never change these things, but it's just how it is.
That's the EU. That's the EU. So they're going to come for you.
Because they will overwhelm you with more work.
Because I understand that, you know, like you said, you know, expectations, business is growing. But then I think the employee as well has like an individuality mentality to say, I mean, what's in this for me? It's your business, you're seeing it grow, do you understand? You have a vision for it. So me as an individual, I'm thinking, okay, yes, what is it for me? You know, because a lot of the millennials, I would say, take pride in the slaving days. I was there for 15 years. I was there for 20 years. And I asked them, what really is there to show for it? You know.
Okay. What's in it for you? It's as simple as the incentives, to be honest. I think I would always subscribe to consider certain increase maybe in salaries or in other fringe benefits that comes with
it doesn't even always have to be salaries.
Some little things that come, like I throw in sometimes something as little as a movie ticket into the business,
which makes a lot of sense,
which makes sense because sometimes, you know, good thing I have a background in human resource management, so I'm able to read people, their emotions and all that stuff. That's a plus for me. Yeah. However, again, I know if your entrepreneurs are watching, employees are not slaves. Yeah. Even though they're here to do your bidding, but they're also learning to be their own person eventually. They have a mind of their own. They can think, and at some point, like Gen Zs would always do, they will stand up to you. So I would always recommend incentives. But you know, the problem with this is that sometimes, in fairness to the businesses, sometimes, if you do business in a state like Lagos, I can't tell you the number of, I've lost count of the number of agencies that come to ask for one thing or the other. You know, some come as to ask radio and TV license.
Actually,
you can't even predict the next month.
You can predict.
It's something
there's
new
always
every
something
time.
taking money from you. Yeah. So it's not like you don't want to do these things, but it's just not there. So that is where the emotional incentive comes in. Yeah. So but then standard, you have to be able to incentivize certain things. And the sacrifice that comes with the business is that most business owners don't know that you put yourself last. Yes, you own the business, but sometimes you are the lowest earner for a while because the staff have to do your work. And they have to do your work in a way that even if you are not there,
the business
will still be going on, regardless. You know, but in the staff too, please. There's a need for passion, you know, because if an employer comes in and expect that, I know we're deviating a bit, but if an employer comes in and expect that, okay, A, B, C, D is your task. But it is fair when you come and see an E without being told or asked to do it. It's just fair to see that.
Why is it fair? I don't think that's fair. I think it would be nice to see that, but I don't think.
Okay, you want me to swap the word fair for
nice?
Yeah, because
I will not.
why?
It's fair.
What do you mean by fair? You employed me to do A, B, C, D.
Okay.
What do you mean is fair?
How about
you
just chip in that little E?
I'm confused. You employed me for something.
You see, that's the challenge.
We're not going to go into that, but it's okay. You employed me for A, B, C, D, and that's what I'm doing. So when your customer comes to buy something, you tell the person, okay, it would be fair if you just add some extra money on the thing.
So, I'll tell you what. You know what that fairness does? It breeds trust.
Yes.
Let me just tell you the truth. It breeds trust. So
you won't trust me if I do what you employed me to do.
I will trust you if you're told to. If you do exactly what you're told to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. I trust your competence.
Yeah.
However, I will trust you with leadership if you take an extra mile. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
It helps breed confidence in you, actually.
Yeah,
we can't all be leaders.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's not even a lie.
That's convenient.
That's actually not a lie. That's actually not a lie.
Everybody can be a boss or CEO.
Okay.
But I think when little appreciation comes up, even when you're given A, B, C, D to do, it's very easy and convenient for a member of staff to actually do E and F even, without even being asked to do it. But when there is no appreciation and it just feels like that's your work, you're supposed to do it. Yes, that's my work, I'm supposed to do it. But then there's an exchange here. I'm giving you value. You're paying me in return. So don't make it seem like it's your work. You should do it. I don't want to do it as a case.
I know.
Okay.
I agree with you.
All right, let's just touch on one last bit before we round off the show. Let's talk about digitalization and technology. I think that's one bit we haven't spoken about, right? How do you think technology can actually help SMEs thrive in this economy?
Oh, I wish we all had access to technology.
Right.
It would be so easy.
Yeah.
You see, I have a factory manufacturing, and technology these days, fine, it takes the human factor away.
Yeah.
So I can conveniently have one machine produce maybe 10,000 sachets with just one push. Yeah? And there and then, the same guy who pushed that button can be doing something else. Yeah? So technology definitely simplifies the work. You know, those days, I remember when I was about 19 or thereabout, the passion to be an entrepreneur and all that stuff, you know. So you have to research, go to libraries, go to, not like these days you Google everything. So, you know, so technology has made it easier. So we don't have to go flip books trying to find out this principle and that principle. You just Google and it's there. Now, unfortunately, technology is not cheap.
Yeah.
So most businesses, yes, they want to use technology. But for instance, the easiest machine you can buy now to maybe put things in a sachet costs probably $10,000 to $15,000. So how many small businesses can actually afford that? So technology is not cheap, but it's important.
Yeah.
However, what I would say to SMEs is take advantage of the technology that is free to you. One is for marketing. There's so many free tools. Our phones, it's unbelievable what this thing can do, other than saying hello and hi. You know, it's unbelievable. So you can market your product using different platforms. All these apps are there where that congregates a lot of people, Instagram and what have you. People have been able to make a lot of money without even opening a shop, you know, on those platforms. However, take advantage of the technology that is available to you. Then two, collaboration. Who is doing what you are doing already that has the tech? So why don't you go and meet that person and say, okay, I'm not here to compete with you, but can you pack for me? I'm not competing with your markets. I have my own markets. But I will pay you to pack for me. So that way I don't have to worry my head about going to get the machines. I will pack until I'm able to develop capacity enough to convince my lender that I can actually afford that tech. So that's a way I think that you can easily, you know, take advantage of technology. Other than that, mostly in marketing, which is a key component of what we do, you have to take advantage of the free tech that is available, the affordable tech that's available, which is using maybe social media, using all these media platforms to be able to, you know, sell your product. So that's what I would advise,
Okay, thank you very much, Andre. It's been quite an insightful conversation tonight, and I'm sure that even ourselves on this table have learned quite a number of things, not to talk of those watching, right? I must say, it's been a great conversation, ladies. Any final words before we go?
I think I'll just say what I've learned, or what I'm in the process of learning, which is, and I had mentioned earlier, it's a period where you have to be very resilient. All of us are going to have to work twice as hard in this period. And I sat down and thought to myself, I'm like, we keep saying in this period, like, they told us there's a phase, as in
where to end.
So I'm coming to the reality that this is what it is now, you know, so double up. That's my final one.
Absolutely, thank you.
Well, I mean, I think I would rather speak to small business owners in this case. I think that we should be a bit more empathetic towards our members of staff, because just as business owners, as business owners are going through some issues, right, with finance and whatnot, these members of staff are probably going through worse. Right, having to commute to work every day, and then you still come and then put a lot of pressure on them. So in this period that we're in Nigeria, I think everyone has to just be empathetic towards each other and just slow down, chill, you know, please, so that everyone can be fine.
Okay, again, thank you very much, Andre. It was great having you on the show. We look forward to having you some other time to continue this SME conversation.
Yes,
oh, yeah. Before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram at Wayshow Africa and at Official Upgrade TV. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, follow all our social media engagements. And remember to like, share, comment, and invite your friends and family to watch us and follow us. If you missed today's quote, here it is again. Economic growth doesn't mean anything if it leaves people out. Economic growth doesn't mean anything if it leaves people out. And that is by Jack Kemp. Okay, so see you on Monday at 8 p.m. Maybe not me, but there will be definitely bringing under great conversations to your screen again. Bye.